Much of the psychological weight people feel comes from a quiet sense that something must still be proven. Proven to others, proven to themselves, proven to the future, proven to the past, proving that you are capable, proving that you are responsible, proving that you are improving, proving that you are on the right path, proving that you are not falling behind, proving that you are becoming someone worthwhile. This sense of needing to prove something often develops gradually, through comparison, through expectation, through cultural pressure, through personal standards, through past experiences, through the desire to feel secure in an uncertain world. The mind begins to create quiet benchmarks, quiet measurements, quiet goals that extend beyond practical needs. Goals related to identity. Am I doing well enough? Am I successful enough? Am I progressing enough? Am I valuable enough? Am I becoming enough? These questions create internal pressure, because proving is rarely finished. Once one milestone is reached, another appears. Once one goal is completed, another emerges. Once one level of confidence is achieved, new doubt appears. Proving can become endless. Because the standard continues to move, the comparison continues to expand. The expectations continue to evolve. Many people live with a constant background sense that they must still become something more in order to feel settled, more accomplished, more secure, more clear, more complete. But completion rarely arrives in a final form. Life continues to move. Circumstances continue to change. Understanding continues to develop. Trying to reach a permanent internal sense of completion can create ongoing pressure. Because the conditions of life are always evolving, the mind often believes that once enough is achieved, once enough is proven, the pressure will disappear. But pressure often continues, because proving becomes habit. A pattern of relating to life. A pattern of seeking confirmation. Confirmation that things are okay. Confirmation that progress is happening. Confirmation that identity is secure. But identity often becomes heavier when it must constantly be confirmed. Constant confirmation requires constant monitoring, constant evaluation, constant comparison, and this creates tension, because the self becomes something that must be continually maintained, continually improved, continually protected. But what if nothing essential about you needs constant proof? What if participation in life is already sufficient? What if being involved in living is already enough? You can still grow, still improve, still develop, still contribute, still create, still explore, but without the constant sense that something must be proven in order for things to feel okay. Growth can occur without pressure to justify existence. Contribution can occur without pressure to confirm worth. Participation can occur without pressure to validate identity. The need to prove often comes from internal comparison. Comparing where you are to where you think you should be. Comparing what you have done to what others have done. Comparing your path to imagined timelines. But comparison rarely creates stability. Because comparison often changes depending on what is being compared. There is always another reference point, another example, another standard, another expectation. Trying to stabilize identity through comparison creates ongoing tension, because comparison never fully resolves. But participation does not require comparison. You can act without measuring constantly. You can learn without evaluating constantly. You can grow without proving constantly. You can contribute without confirming constantly. The mind often believes pressure improves performance, but excessive pressure often interferes with clarity, interferes with creativity, interferes with adaptability, because attention becomes divided. Part of attention is on the activity. Part of attention is on what the activity means about identity. But activity often functions more effectively when attention is not divided, when engagement is direct, responsive, present, without constant self-monitoring. Nothing to prove does not mean nothing matters. It means participation does not require constant validation. Meaning can develop through involvement rather than through confirmation. Connection can develop through presence rather than through performance. Contribution can develop through engagement rather than through pressure. You may still care deeply about your life, still care about the people around you, still care about the quality of your work, still care about your responsibilities. But care does not need to feel like proving. Care can feel natural, steady, quiet, consistent, not dramatic, not pressured, not heavy. The feeling that something must be proven often comes from the belief that life is evaluating you, that something is judging, measuring, scoring, determining whether you are doing well enough. But life often functions more as interaction than evaluation. Situations arise. Responses occur. Learning develops. Understanding evolves. Adjustment continues. Life is dynamic, responsive, changing, not fixed, not static, not final. When identity is not constantly being defended, energy becomes available for participation. Participation becomes more fluid, more adaptable, more natural, because effort is no longer divided between action and self-protection. Many people carry internal pressure related to how they are perceived, how they appear, how they are understood, how they are evaluated. This pressure can create constant self-monitoring, constant adjustment, constant concern about image. But image is often unstable. It changes depending on context, depending on perspective, depending on interpretation. Trying to maintain a perfect image creates tension because perception varies, expectations vary, interpretations vary. Nothing to prove allows identity to remain flexible, open, adaptive, not rigidly defined by each moment. You can still communicate clearly, still express yourself, still take responsibility, still contribute meaningfully, but without the constant sense that something about you must be secured. Nothing to carry does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means responsibility does not need to be carried as psychological burden. Responsibility can remain practical, responsive, appropriate, without becoming emotional weight. You can handle what needs to be handled, respond to what arises, participate in what matters, without constantly carrying everything internally, without constantly holding the future in your mind, without constantly protecting identity. Life often unfolds through interaction, through experience, through response, not through constant internal management. Many people feel tired not only from what they do, but from what they feel they must continuously maintain internally. Maintain identity, maintain direction, maintain progress, maintain image, maintain certainty. But not everything needs constant maintenance. Some things function naturally. Relationships develop through interaction. Skills develop through practice. Understanding develops through exposure. Not everything requires constant monitoring. Sometimes allowing things to unfold reduces unnecessary strain. Participation can continue without constant self-measurement. You can continue learning without constantly evaluating your progress. You can continue growing without constantly confirming that growth is occurring. You can continue contributing without constantly proving your value. Nothing to prove often creates space. Space for curiosity, space for creativity, space for responsiveness. Because attention is not consumed by self-protection, not consumed by comparison, not consumed by evaluation. Participation becomes more direct, more engaged, more open. Nothing to carry allows psychological space. Space for experience, space for interaction, space for development, space for change. Life often becomes more workable when identity is not treated as something fragile that must be protected constantly. Identity can remain fluid, evolving, responsive, not fixed by each moment. You can still have preferences, still have goals, still have intentions, still have direction, but without needing to constantly confirm that everything is going according to plan. Plans often change. Understanding evolves. Circumstances develop. Flexibility often supports better outcomes than rigidity. Nothing to prove allows flexibility, allows adaptation, allows learning, allows revision. Growth often includes revisiting assumptions, updating perspectives, adjusting direction. Nothing to carry allows these adjustments to occur without feeling like identity is threatened, without feeling like something is being lost. Sometimes change indicates development, not failure, not regression, not inadequacy. Participation includes learning. Learning includes change. Change includes revision. Revision includes growth. Nothing to prove allows growth to continue without constant pressure. Nothing to carry allows participation to remain sustainable. Because energy is not consumed by constant internal defense. You can still aim to do things well, still care about outcomes, still value improvement, still pursue development, but without the constant feeling that everything must confirm something about who you are. Life often becomes lighter when identity is not constantly at stake, when participation is allowed to be participation, when growth is allowed to be gradual, when direction is allowed to evolve. Nothing to prove does not remove motivation. It often clarifies motivation. Motivation becomes less about securing identity, more about genuine interest, curiosity, contribution, engagement. Nothing to carry does not remove responsibility. It often clarifies responsibility. Responsibility becomes practical rather than psychological, responsive rather than burdensome. Participation becomes more sustainable, more consistent, because internal pressure decreases. You can continue showing up, continue learning, continue contributing, without constantly managing how everything reflects on identity. Life continues. Participation continues. Development continues. Without needing constant confirmation, without needing constant validation, without needing constant proof. Nothing to prove, nothing to carry. And often, this allows life to move more freely, more naturally, more sustainably. Because the extra weight is no longer being added, participation remains, engagement remains, contribution remains, but the burden begins to fall away. And what remains is often enough, more than enough. If this episode helped you see that life does not need to feel like something you constantly have to prove yourself within, consider subscribing to the channel. This space explores how growth, responsibility, and participation can continue without the ongoing pressure to confirm your worth or secure your identity through every outcome. If this conversation resonated with you, liking the video helps more people discover that it is possible to live fully without carrying the sense that everything must validate who they are. You can also share this with someone who may feel like they are always trying to measure up, always trying to keep up, or always trying to hold everything together internally. There are more episodes in this season that continue exploring how life can feel lighter when identity is no longer something that has to be defended or proven. Effort can remain, care can remain, participation can remain, but the need to prove does not have to remain. I'll see you in the next episode.